Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T for today, February the 22nd. For those of you who haven't figured this out yet, that's 222. Holy smokes. What that also means is we are getting incredibly close to March. We'll get back to that. So, same as always, I flared up just to get my tanks into the right place to speed things along. But where you're really going to want to drop your tanks is over where I dropped my critters. Let your tanks take the path my critters took. Eventually you're going to end up in the same place, and you're going to be able to beat Stage 1 and get some loot. Now, Stage 2, actually land your tanks where I landed my tanks. Let them take out those boxes, and then flare up to where I just threw those critters. Now, again, I'm flaring my tanks to a different place because I just want to speed them up. As you can see, your critters, well, my critters, your tanks, end up in the same place and then just kind of roll in. Go into the top there, let them blow things up. The good news is, because you've cleared all of those extra cheap energy things, you should have absolutely no problem throwing artilleries and barrages on the cannon and the sniper tower, which are really the only things your tanks are going to have to worry about. And then eventually you're going to end up where my tanks are right there, and completely safe. Well, except for the boom cannon. There is a boom cannon that touches the HQ. You're going to have to blow that up also. But, like, all of these things completely possible. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. It's fantastic. Now, Stage 3, flare right onto that boom cannon and shoot the poop out of it. That's it. That's the whole strategy. Once you've taken out that boom cannon, if you want, like, throw a barrage onto it because it's going to do some damage, as well as clear the mines that are just behind the boom cannon. But really, when it comes down to it, you know, blow up that boom cannon with a shock. If you can do it with GB, then why wouldn't you? But for those of you who can't yet, and, like, that's viable for, like, hookah or whatever you happen to be rolling with. Tanks, obviously, are my favorite, but whatevs. Move on. Stage 4. Let's do this. Stage 4 is kind of, I guess, really, if you're a lower level, I think that it would be a little tougher. You're going to have to drop where I landed and just let your tanks farm up a few easy kills, if you would. Get a little bit of energy before they roll up here. Now, what I would suggest, I'm trying not to use Barrage because it would just flatten that cannon, but throw a Barrage. If you've got lower level barrages, throw a barrage on that left cannon. It's going to take out the boom mines that are all around the cannon, and just makes it that extra little bit safer for your tanks. And then, if you can, take out the cannon on the right with energy as well, because then you can just park your tanks where my tanks are sitting right here, and you can just sit there blowing up the HQ. Now, I know you're probably looking at the hit points of my tanks going, holy crap, he's got max tanks, and look at how much damage is going on, and oh my god, my tanks... I didn't bother dropping medics. If you drop medics, they're going to be able to counter out the rocket launchers. Everything's going to be fine, I assure you. Now, Stage 5, I wanted to show you this. Obviously, if you're dropping more than 2 boats of tanks, you're probably going to have to drop more smokes, but adjust appropriately. And what you want is all of your tanks to be chilling in the smoke. You want the smokes to be going away at the same time, so if you're going to toss the smokes, make sure it's not like one, drop some stuff, second smoke. No, you want, like, all the smoke to go off, so like 1, 2, and then drop all your stuff in those 2 smokes. Target that boom cannon. What's going to happen is the smokes are going to go away, all your tanks are going to fire at the boom cannon at once, and you're going to flash kill it. And I know what you're saying. Well, yeah, but you didn't flash kill it. Why didn't you flash kill it? Well, I wanted to show you that you can also throw the shock and hit the flamethrower, but ultimately, really good test. Like, if you're lower level, you're going to want to kind of perfect this skill, if you would call it a skill, I guess. But, very important, make sure that your tanks actually have the damage to be capable of flash killing that boom cannon, because the boom cannon is a little bit higher hit points, so if you're really low level, you might need like 2 salvos, in which case you're going to have to use that shock that I was showing, that you can shock the flamethrower and the boom cannon so that everything's nice and safe for you. But if you can flash kill the boom cannon, definitely try to do it. You'll thank yourself like later on when you're doing ops and you can flash kill rocket launchers like a boss, instead of doing what I do. Also, in the final, like I guess firing position right here, be careful of all the stuff on the left-hand side. The cannon is still in range and it's going to pick away at your tanks. There are 3 boom cannons. My tanks were out of range, but I was thinking, you know what? If you landed all boats, they're probably going to shift a little to the left to get firing range and whatnot. So if they do, the boom cannons might turn. Make sure you save some critters and some shocks just to be able to take anything out over there on the left-hand side while your tanks quickly burn stuff down. And then we're going to move on to stage 6, which, I'm not going to lie to you, it's very tough stage 6 today. Tougher than most anyways. And the reason I say that is because there are a bunch of boom cannons that you've got to work through. Now, I'm going on the right-hand side. You can see the 2 boom cannons there, plus the one that I already blew up. If you go left-hand side, there's a shock launcher and a boom cannon. I think maybe 2 boom cannons. I'm pretty sure it's just the one. So it's kind of like a 50-50. However, on the left-hand side, there's a bunch more sniper towers, which are far scarier than a bunch of mortars, which is what we got on the right-hand side. So I decided to go right-hand side just because it'd be a little bit easier, but also because all the rocket launchers over on the right-hand side would still have range in the final shooting position of your troops, which means you're going to have a lot more attrition, if you would, while you're trying to burn down the HQ. By going over on the right-hand side, we alleviate that by not having to worry about a whole bunch of rocket launchers. Oh, excuse me for a moment. There we go. What? So, go along the top. Once you've cleared down a little bit, you can take out all those defenses. It'll get nice and safe for your troops up there. You'll have like the 1 rocket launcher capable of shooting at you, and don't worry about it. Like, it does not matter. Your healers are going to be able to keep you up, no sweat. Also, your Grens, if you're rolling Grens, and I suggest you do because they're amazing, they're going to take out some of the extra buildings on the other side of the HQ, which is fantastic because it helps you build up extra energy that you can, I don't know, make a smoky happy face at the end of the level with. Whatevs. Or, you know, if you need that extra energy, I guess you could blow up buildings or something with it, but whatever. Okay, stage 7. Holy freaking smokes. This is quite possibly the toughest stage 7 that I've seen in a while. Like, I actually lost some troops on this stage 7, and not because I was being lazy or doing something stupid or just, you know, farting around being a dork. Like, okay, well, technically, I guess it could be partially related to runaway troops, but not out of neglect, but more out of necessity. Like, I was struggling to do other things. You know how it is. The point is, this stage 7 actually took out some of my troops, which doesn't happen that often on Dr. T's, well, this Dr. T, I guess, technically. But yeah, I was like blown away. I lost a tank and a grenadier, and still, like, when I finish, I squeak by. Honestly, I was close to losing more troops. I did farm up the frontier to get a little extra energy. However, over where I threw that smoke, there's like 3 sniper towers all in a row there. Be very careful of that wall of sniper towers. It does crazy amounts of damage and has crazy amounts of hit points because, you know, 200% health boost and a 56% damage boost. You're looking at some pretty impressive stuff going on here. Okay. Be careful of those sniper towers. Pull everything over. Do definitely farm the front there. If you're rolling all all tanks, you're gonna have some mine clearing to do. There are a lot of mines, like brutal amounts of mines. If you're rolling Grens, you got nothing to worry about. Your Grens are gonna clear out all the mines. You're gonna coast right on through there, and you're gonna be able to pretend like you didn't even know there were mines on this level. It's one of the things that I absolutely love about the Grens. Also, as you can see, I kind of tried to pull my troops back and out of the way in order to sort of reset, buy my healers some time to get some extra healing in there, and then continue my assault here. However, I did not get nearly as much healing as I was hoping to out of everything, and also I'm pretty sure it cost me a Gren, because I had to pull everything back, and then I had a bunch of stuff kind of veer off towards the right and the south that I didn't even notice because I was so worried about sniper towers and cannons and all kinds of things over near the HQ, and it all went bad. Now, once you set up shop in the bottom corner, it's inevitable. You're gonna blow some stuff up. However, now your biggest problem is gonna be the clock. Because I am rolling completely unboosted, my troop damage is a lot less than, say, one might hope, and unfortunately, as you can see here, the clock becomes the next biggest problem, because it's slowly ticking down and I can only do so much damage. Anyways, ultimately I do finally take it out. I take out a bunch of extra buildings too because my Grens are awesome, and I hope that it works equally as good for you. Anyways, guys, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's been entertaining. And most importantly, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.